The organization was actually founded, quite frankly, right after Jimmy Carter was elected president back in 1976. And if some of you may recall, we had the oil embargo and those long gasoline lines. And maybe 2-3 months after Carter got into office, he decided to kind of bring together some thought leaders and some thinkers around energy policy and kind of develop national energy policy. And quite frankly, when he did that, two things were very apparent about the group of people that he brought together. One, none of those people in that thought process worked in energy. They were primarily environmentalists. And number two, none of them were people of color. And so what happened is that we had some folks who worked in this industry in the States, and they got together, and what they knew even back then is that access to energy really does lead to economic empowerment. And so if you don't participate in those conversations around energy policy, you really do kind of start out behind everybody else. The other thing that they knew inherently back then, but that we have been able to provide through some data studies and feasibility studies, is that at least in the States, people of color are impacted by energy very differently, energy pricing in particular, than non-people of color. So for example, African Americans across all income deciles, we pay more for energy in the United States than people who are not African American. That is an absolute fact. And we did a study back in '94. The Energy Information Association did a study back in 2000 that basically just kind of verified what we had already put out there. So that's really kind of how we were formed. And so we started as an organization who really spends a lot of time looking at energy policy and trying to figure out what the impacts are to policy to various communities, and then providing that feedback. We do not lobby our members of Congress, but we do then talk to them about kind of what we think the issues are, what those adverse impacts are, what the positive impacts are, so that they kind of have a very well-rounded base of knowledge, and they can make whatever decision they feel is the best decision based on those issues. And we have, over the last maybe 5 to 6 years, have a very growing entrepreneur component of our association. So while we have 1,800 members, and probably 1,700 of those folks work for some sort of energy company, utility company, small, which would be about 300,000 and 300 million in annual revenue, to very, very large. So they do run the spectrum. But we have 100 members who are entrepreneurs. We've got folks who do energy trading. We've got folks who do natural gas pipeline. We've got folks who do LEED building certification and manufacturing. So we've got a lot of people who have begun to kind of get into that space as a business opportunity for themselves, and have left. We've got former CEOs who have left their organizations and decided to form their companies. So being here is very exciting for us, for that reason, because this is an opportunity for some of our entrepreneurs to kind of spread their wings, and I can go back and provide them with information and get people to start thinking about how they want their business to grow. Is in Africa a market that they'd like to consider, that sort of thing. So that's something that's happening with us.